Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the shop. Today we are going to do a heat treat operation. I've made this little Chinese, Japanese chopper, and this is for small, fine kitchen work. And this is 01 oil hardening tool steel. Now, I've given myself about 20 thousandths per side of material to take off. This is just going to be a final convex grind, but the whole point to this video here is you don't want to grind, especially a big wide blade, something like that, you don't want to grind it too thin. If you grind it too thin, then if you heat treat it in the uncontrolled manner that I'm going to use, which is a coal-fired forge, you risk warping and twisting this, and then you're just creating a pile of junk. So leave a little bit of meat on it. I know a lot of guys, blade makers, which I am not one of, they'll take a chance and they'll grind more material off of here. But by doing that, you're risking warping. They do that to save their belts, and it's less hard material that they have to grind away. But these machines remove even hardened material pretty quickly. So discretion being the better part of valor. So the idea is to get this up to temperature, which is like a cherry red. I'm not really too concerned with the handle, but the handle will probably heat up too. That's why I make sure all your machining is done. And it becomes non-magnetic at that point. And at that point, we quench it in oil. I have my little quench tank here. It's just an empty paint can purchased from the Home Despot, and some extra virgin. Actually, it's just ShopRite canola oil for $4 for a gallon. So we're going to get the forge chooched up and get this operation going. This thing's eventually going to have a walnut scale on it, and hey, stay tuned. Well, now, as you can see, it's kind of a breezy day here at the Jersey Shore. And I generally refrain from such shenanigans when it's a little breezy. This anthracite coal blows dust all over the fucking place. But it won't be long. This thing's chooching up pretty good. And we're about to want to make like a little cavern in there and insert said blade. Now this has to be watched rather carefully, because that'll heat up pretty quickly. And you don't want to burn it away and cause yourself some problems. Pardon the shaky camera work, but that's about getting there. I just tested it with the magnet, and it is almost non-magnetic. So another minute or two. More concerned about the edge than we are the rest of it, and that should do it. And into the bath we go. Now, I used more charcoal and coal to avoid as much scale as I could possibly get. And there we have it. We'll give her a test in a minute when she cools down. Well, that was a quick run. As you can see, by using mostly charcoal and just enough coal to get it to chooch to the right heat, I have very little scale on it. Very little. The Japanese swordsmiths, by the way, always use charcoal. I never had scale. But then again, they didn't have fossil fuels in the land of the rising sun. Now, what is the hardness of this? I don't know. Here is my file. And as you can see, this file does not even make or mark in here. So I would say probably between 65 and 68 Rockwell, if I had to guess, which is hard enough for the girls I go out with. Anyway, what I like about this method of leaving extra material on here, if you look over here, there is no twisting, warping. This is nice and flat. Nice and flat. So, what I have to do now is temper this bad boy. Otherwise, she'll be prone to chipping. Now, I should have invested in a garage sale toaster oven for this operation, but I haven't yet. So I will clean this off and surprise my wife, who just came home, that this is going to temper at 400 degrees for 1 hour. It's going to sit and come to room temperature again, and then 400 degrees again for another hour. And that will give us a temper and bring this down to about 62, 64 Rockwell with a tempered, less likely to chip or break. Right now it's hard, but it's very brittle. And an edge, especially a thin edge of about 5 thousandths, would not hold up very well. It could be chipped by a tomato seed. So, we will show you the product after the dual temper. Okay, home gamers, this is after 2 tempers. It was in at 400. You pull it out, let it come back down to room temperature, and then you do it again at 400. We still got the hardness, but now we're redistributed the metal molecules so it's not a brittle. So when we're going to get this thing ground up, and we'll show you the finished product. You don't have to watch me grind this thing. For everybody's edification, I grind on a Grizzly 2x72 belt sander. I have a bunch of different belts that I use, and you know, there's 10 gazillion videos on there on YouTube about grinding. So anyway, I just wanted to do the hardening thing. So here we are, hardened and tempered blade.